Cool.
Can't believe I had to provide my old makeup for this.
We'll get a budget for that eventually.
Is that a temporary watermelon?
It's a temporary. It's a lime, you fucking cunt.
Someone told me front to back, or back to front.
No, it's back to front.
Back to
Yeah, you drag it up.
back to front.
So you push it all. You push it all.
I'm sorry. I'm painting a picture in my head right now.
Producer.
No, it is.
You push it all under your ball.
For the children at home, it is front to back.
Cause it's the industry special. I got a special for you. Any dude to get drunk.
Well, I'll say action. Just go. Action.
Action. I'm Daniel. This is Cheesecakes by Daddy. It's original that we came up with at College Hill for a cocktail mini for a drag series that we run. It's equal parts Pinnacle Whip, rum chata, about that much pineapple. It's actually a scientific measurement. It's about that much. Give it a pretty hard shake. You're gonna run some grenadine. Give it that swirl. Top a little graham cracker crust. And there you have it. Cheesecakes by Daddy. Now throw it back before it gets soggy.
Okay, I didn't eat breakfast.
Like honest reaction to the cheesecakiness of it.
Cheesecakes by Daddy. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh my god.
Right?
That is straight up cheesecake.
That's straight up cheesecake.
Decadent.
That's
very
fun.
nice. You came up with that?
Me and Kelsey Butler from Boxcar.
No shit.
We were trying to ballpark how to add new textures to shooters, and we were talking about the resurgence of the pineapple upside down cake shot.
Right.
And how it kind of hasn't been on the scene in a while, and then just started coming back.
Yeah, and I was a little nervous about the graham like not going down.
Not going down,
but it like,
does. It's just enough.
Yeah, and like the liquid kind of softens it up enough.
Kelsey was talking about how they put whipped cream in their shooters for the upside down cake before they shake it to kind of give it a texture.
Right.
And I was like, well, we don't have whipped cream, but we have rum chata is the only thing that we have with dairy in it. So I was like, well, let's try it with that and see if it gives a similar thing to it. She was sitting at the bar having a drink. I was trying to come up with the cocktail menu. And so we just made a pineapple upside down cake with rum chata, and like we both tried it and it was like, holy fuck, that's cheesecake. So just that little accidental experiment came up with a pretty fucking cool shooter.
Yeah.
And then the grenadine came a little bit later, and then one of our regular Smith was like, you should put graham cracker on that. And so we just went across the street and grabbed graham cracker.
Of course, Smith.
It was Smith, yeah. And then that was the evolution of it. Now it's kind of its final form.
Delicious.
It's fucking cheesecake.
Yeah. What does that mean?
It means transition to the next segment.
Is there a helicopter over it? All right. Well, after the shot, this delicious shot, I'm ready for an interview. I don't know if you are.
I'm ready. Yeah.
Ready? Hey, let's take it to the corner.
Let's take it to the corner. That's where I normally work anyway.
Hey.
Cool.
Can't believe I had to provide my old makeup for this.
We'll get a budget for that eventually.
Is that a temporary watermelon?
It's a temporary. It's a lime, you fucking cunt. I hate grapefruit a lot, but I've never heard watermelon.
Let me see it. It's got the lines of a lime.
Yeah, it does.
It looks it's a
But it
lime.
doesn't have the lines of a watermelon.
No, yeah, because they don't have lines.
They don't. They
have
that's
seeds.
They have seeds.
Yeah,
Limes
you
don't.
should get a watermelon on this side.
On the other side. Would I have to get it proportional? Because it would be like that big.
Whole half of your face.
Whole half of my face.
Like Phantom of the Opera,
fucking-
but
the
just
fucking
but just
watermelon.
watermelon, yeah.
It was actually interesting. I got this for to celebrate 10 years of working in nightlife.
Nice.
And it'll be on September 10th of this year. I'll have been doing this for 10 years.
10 years.
10 years,
Damn,
yeah.
dude. That's a long ass time.
Yeah, it is. And I was working a corporate job prior to doing this.
Okay.
And I got laid off. And really I'd never done the whole, I was 22 at the time. I'd never really done the whole serving as a teenager or anything like that. I had no experience in the service industry at that point.
Is that where you started serving? Like,
I started bar backing. I shot pool at this pool hall, and started on as a bar back there. That was my first introduction to it. It was a very busy bar.
Gotcha.
So I had no idea what the fuck I was doing, no idea what I was getting into. I just knew that I fucking loved it.
Right.
So when I got this, there's a whole trope about, no one's ever gonna hire you, you're never gonna get a job. Well, that was kind of the point of this. It was locking me out of the office. My next step from here is to hopefully open my own place and be my own boss.
Hell
So
yeah.
This is kind of the coffin nail for
Yeah.
going back to corporate
just
life.
completely erasing all.
Completely erasing 10
and
years
like,
later.
Yeah, if that's not for you, why?
Yeah, it's
why-
not.
Why would you?
That layoff was
Care about
that
something
layoff
like
was
that.
the single greatest moment of my life.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
It sounds like you've been killing it.
Yeah.
10 years.
10 years.
How many different jobs have you had?
This is the fourth bar that I worked for. The second bar that I worked for was under the umbrella of the original bar that I worked for.
Gotcha.
So it was a busier spot. They opened up a small gastro pub here in Greensboro as well. I started working for them. They taught me a lot more, kind of lifted the ceiling of knowledge a little bit more than the original place that I was working for.
Okay.
I was able to do a lot more cocktail stuff. They allowed me a little bit of autonomy with creating liquor infusions and doing seasonal stuff, having a little bit more like rotating.
A deeper like education.
Deeper
on the
education
craft
to it,
and-
yeah. And
Do
then,
you refer to yourself as a mixologist?
no, I actually fucking hate that term.
Cool. That was a
any-
test, and you passed.
Thank you. Anybody, it's one thing being called a mixologist. Anybody who refers to themselves as a mixologist is a putz.
It's so smug.
It's
so
smug. It's smug.
Pretentious.
It's what like your work. You should be defined by your work when you're behind the bar, not what you call yourself.
Right.
So like if you're out in public at a fucking your partner's company picnic sponsored by Chuck E. Cheese, and you're like, well, I'm a mixologist for a living. You're smug and you're trying to fuck the boss's wife. Like that's all
right.
it is.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like trying to give yourself a nickname. It's like
it's not gonna fucking stick.
Like
so.
if you're a good bartender, people are gonna know.
Exactly. You're
Like-
just a fucking bartender.
You can't put lipstick on a pig.
You
like
can't
that.
put lipstick on a pig. Well, I've done
You
it once.
could,
and
yeah.
let me tell
But
you.
it's still a pig.
It's still it's still a pig.
It's still a pig. It's a very pretty pig.
If it looks like a pig, has lipstick like a pig, it's probably still a pig.
So I forgot to do the intro, so I'm gonna do the intro real quick. Hi everybody, welcome to Industry Special, where we talk to the people that only talk to you because they have to. My name is Rob Rinaldi, I'm your host. We are here at College Hill Sundries with their star bartender, celebrity, alien abductee, Daniel.
Keep going. No,
Daniel
gas me up. I
Emerson,
fucking love this.
also known as Pop Pop. Also known as Plop Plop, also known as Paul Leibowitz. Plop Plop, how are you today?
But that's the name the courts know me by.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
we
fantastic.
can bleep that one out.
This is actually the earliest I've been at a bar since I was an alcoholic, so that's quite wonderful.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Happy to be here, Coach.
You work today, don't you?
No, I work tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah, I don't go in until 9.
You work at this lovely bar that we're in.
This
right now.
lovely location. And if you look closely enough, I don't know how high definition these cameras are, but the fruit flies here are amazing.
Can you see any fruit flies, Mike, camera guy, director?
I see a couple of bar flies.
Hey. See, that's why we keep him around.
Yeah, he's
And
good.
all the flies are very straight.
Mike feels so much. Mike is directing. He's doing the camera. He's doing sound,
Dude, I got a
and
fly in my
he's
mouth.
my
Andy Richter.
Andy Richter, my Ed McMahon, my Jeff the gay skeleton from
That's right.
Craig Ferguson.
Yeah.
Low key, the best talk show host ever.
Really?
Yeah, he used to follow Letterman at the Late Late Show.
Oh yeah.
I used to watch him all the time. Anyway, back to you.
I used to go to bed after Letterman. And once I finish rubbing one out, it's usually time
I
to
mean,
sleep.
yeah,
so.
yeah.
Leto.
That usually would take me like a good 40
Leto
minutes.
man.
Leto man.
So you have questions.
Yes, I do. So you work here at College Hill. You've been working here. You said you have 4 jobs in 10 years. How long have you been here?
I've been here for 4 years. 4 years in October.
So you know the place.
Yeah.
You're comfortable here.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. How many days a week do you work, would you say?
It fluctuates. We give up a lot of shifts. We pick up a lot of shifts. It's a very, very good environment for that. Everybody kind of.
Yeah.
But
Industry
typically
tends to
I work Friday
towards
evening, open to close on Saturday for the double. Sundays we have events, so I usually work the events. There's usually about 2 a month, and then Wednesday evenings for open mic night.
Right. So you say would you say you serve a lot of people?
Yeah,
on a weekly basis.
A lot, especially during the weekends. Working Friday and Saturday. Friday I work solo back here,
Right.
Which is an awesome challenge. And then
bet.
Saturday for karaoke, it's even doubly so. So
yeah,
I get to work with my partner in crime, Brittany.
Nice.
Every Saturday,
Nice.
which is
We're interviewing her next week.
nice,
Yeah.
awesome, very lovely person. Badass bartender.
If you could throw a number on it, like new faces week to week, new faces versus old heads, what would you say like the ratio is?
It's pretty even. I mean, we have a very dedicated clientele here, especially catering to a lot of the service industry people. So we have a lot of really amazing familiar faces. But through that, friends come along, people hear about it. So we have a constant rotation of new faces, new friends, new not so much friends.
Yeah.
It's
they're
usually
not all winners. So.
They're not all winners.
Yeah.
I rarely have to ask somebody I've known more than a few months to leave.
That's
It's
good.
typical. Yeah. So like our base clientele is, I wouldn't even call them clientele. That sounds demeaning. Our base patronage is really just the most lovely fucking people you can meet in a place like this.
On that note, though, how often would you say you do have to ask people to leave?
Oh, every night.
Every single night?
Every single night.
Every single night. Gets
Friday night, 2 to 3 times. And it's really only bothersome when it's like before 10 o'clock. It's like I clock in at 9 for my Friday night shift. If I'm kicking you out by 9:30 on a Friday,
That's kind of early.
you have things that you really need to address about yourself. And I'm not going to be the one to help you address those. I just
Right.
need you out of the fucking bar.
Right.
Yeah.
How many of those people would you say go quietly?
Honestly, more so than not. You would think in a setting like this, being a really kind of grungier dive bar, that there'd be a lot more issues with people not going quietly, not going gently into that good night.
Right.
But no, people are typically understanding to a certain point. But there's really no gray area to it. Either they're very okay with it, or I'm having to physically remove you in some fashion.
Any stories that stand out for like someone who just went full temper tantrum or
Actually, yes. So it was my first shift ever here. So when I originally got hired here 4 years ago, I got hired for 2 bartending shifts, and I'd recently just left a job, and they didn't have that many shifts available here, so they gave me the Tuesday night door position for dollar beer night. We had a dollar beer night at the time.
oh yeah.
It's the most fun you can have on a Tuesday.
Yeah. I miss it dearly.
So that first shift I had here happened to be Halloween. I was in the middle of a transition. I was excited about my first job. So I was getting myself ready throughout the day to like start this new place that I'd been, a patron at for years. I've been coming here years prior to working here. So I'm like really geared up and excited, and I completely forgot that it was Halloween. So as I'm getting ready to leave for this shift, I'm like, fuck, it's Halloween. And my roommate at the time had this Pikachu onesie.
Okay.
Right? So I was like, cool, let me get that. So I throw on this onesie, and it goes to the door, start checking IDs. And, we try to cultivate an environment here to where a bouncer is not quite necessary. So the
Right.
door guy's main job here is to check IDs, keep things clean.
Yeah. And do some bar backing.
Yeah,
as
do some
well.
bar backing,
Stocking.
keep eyes on the place, and if need be,
Yeah.
handle some business.
But not like strictly security.
It's not like we don't need
Yeah.
a yoked motherfucker. Well, this night we did.
It does
and
help, I'm sure.
I wasn't quite in the shape back then that I am in now. I
Right.
was quite the string bean. And so there I am in this Pikachu onesie by the door over there. And this massive, and when I say massive, I mean this ox of a human. I don't know what the interaction was with one of our regulars, but I just look over to see this man with biceps this fucking big just wreck him right in the fucking face.
Damn.
And I mean, it's just immediate, like, bloody nose and everything like this. and everybody's in costume, and I'm sitting there like, somebody should do something about this. And then everybody looks at me.
You're the guy.
This string bean in a Pikachu,
onesie.
And I'm just like, this is my ESPN moment. So I just like fly at this man, and I'm not quite sure what I was going for here. I just knew that I did not want him to swing again. So I just jumped up, because he's very tall too. He's probably a good 6'4", 6'5", and just yoked. And I just jumped up and like koala beared his arm. His arm. So I'm hanging from this massive human's arm.
Was it like actually Hercules?
It was close to Hercules. And he's just kind of looking at me. And
images.
I can't carry this man out. I can't force this man out. I'm just holding onto one of his arms, praying that something happens. Well, Brittany, who you'll be interviewing next, is off work that night, dressed as like this hippie. And I would say Brittany was drunk, but you know, it's Halloween. Brittany was off the clock.
Yeah.
We almost have this man wrestled to the door, and then in comes Brittany out of nowhere and just Spartan kicks him right into the chest, out of the front door, like it was the fucking pit of death in 300.
My God.
And just like, finish him. Bam! And I just like let go of his arm, and I'm like, this is fucking wild.
Damn.
And after
Brittany.
that, you know, all the regulars and people were like, you're not coming back in. The situation got handled, but it took the effort of Hippie and a Pikachu to really fucking get this
unlikely heroes.
Get unlikely
saving
hero.
the day.
Absolutely. I felt the embodiment of Pikachu in that moment, you know.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah. So that's pretty fucking crazy for your first day.
Yeah, first shift.
Do you think that set the tone for?
Oh yeah, I mean everything's easy after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So like, what gets you through a shift like that? A crazy, stressful ass shift. Like, is there something that like a mantra you have, or like, because this is a busy ass place, and that's not the only crazy story that's happened here, I'm sure.
So aside from that, the two things you deal with most, and I think most nightlife workers will understand this, is impatience and poor tippers. Those are the real, we'll call speed bumps of the night. They can really like change your mood. And especially if you're new to the industry, it can be quite disheartening.
It can.
And it's hard to shake that. And one thing that I'm proud of myself is over this 10 years of doing this is being able to try to shake it off. And if I can't shake it off, correcting the behavior immediately.
Right.
So if somebody's, I like to just give them a high five and then ignore them for an extra 5 minutes. What did you learn? Somebody shouting, hey boss man, I just simply reply with, thanks.
I get boss man so much.
I hate it.
It's
Tell
infuriating.
them thank you for the promotion. And then go on about your business and continue to ignore them for another 5 minutes.
Good. That's
if
better.
you wave dollar bills in front of me, I like to just take them and put them in my tip jar and then ignore them for another 5 minutes. And because I mean, we're out here trying to educate people on the ways to.
And behavior like that is like, it's damn near childish.
It is childish. Well, I mean,
and we're all adults here. We're all, well, you're supposed to be 21.
You're supposed to be 21.
If everyone's doing their job, everyone is at least 21 years old. If you're acting like that,
we are in a daycare center.
It should be addressed.
Where our job is to make people more childish. So you can't really complain too much whenever shit gets south. But there are other instances, and this is my favorite, and this actually goes out to all my service industry people who may not realize that you can do this. So there's quite a few instances, and if you work in the service industry, you understand that a lot of people who round up the tip line.
Right. Make it even.
$68, 75-cent check, 25-cent tip. Yeah. That's fucking shitty. You shouldn't fucking do that. Just don't tip at all.
Don't do it.
Just don't tip. I'll take a stiff over a roundup. Well, over the years, I figured out that obviously you can't add more money to the tip line. I mean, that's fraudulent. However, there are no rules against taking less.
Doing less.
So I go 1 cent down. 1 cent down.
That's funny. No joke, I do the exact same thing.
You do the exact same thing?
I do the exact same thing because I love the idea of somebody getting something 99.
99 in
their
bank
those double
account.
zeros.
And I hope that they die a little bit inside whenever they see that the next day on their transactions.
I hope so too.
And that's those are the little things that get me through my shift. And honestly, like, to branch away from just all the negative, I want to talk about the positive too. What gets me through the shift is meeting people like y'all. Being able to, this bar does a lot of like community work and stuff like that. So like a lot of these busy shifts, like we are bringing in people that we have worked with in the community, local artists, other local service industry people who just understand, coming to the watering hole and seeing these beautiful interactions and these communities come together.
This is very much an industry, neighborhood, creative mind kind of bar.
Very much is.
Everyone I meet here is interesting. Or not everyone, there's obviously some people that are just here to get pissed. Yeah. But, it's Greensboro, it's creative, a lot of theater people, a lot of activist people.
A lot of activists.
A lot of artists. And it's, I get into some of the most interesting conversations with people like you, and I'm sure you.
And I know it's cliche, but you hear this about a lot of bars, but you're really only a stranger once here.
Right.
Like you come in, you're gonna know everybody quite immediately if you want to. If you have that kind of mindset, you have that kind of open mind and open heart, and that's honestly what really does. All the bullshit aside, and all the the industry standards. Bullshit that we have to deal with on a daily basis.
There's good stuff too.
It really is. It's really good stuff. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. If it wasn't good, then I wouldn't be doing this for as long as I have, and I wouldn't be continuing to make this my career going forward.
Right.
Even taking it to a next step and growing that ceiling.
That's awesome
for myself. Yeah, because it is beautiful. It's fucking dirty, shitty, and fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
This is gin, by the way. It's fucking incredible.
Mine has graham cracker dust in it. So do you want to highlight any of you said you're doing like events and stuff here. Do you want to highlight any of those real quick?
So the last Sunday of every month we do a drag show. My good buddy and business partner, Drag Me to Hill. Which my good business partner, Ethan, and myself started doing. We started planning last November and launched it in March. It's been running pretty steady. We take proceeds from the door to put to local events, charities, mutual aids. And it's just a fucking blast. We're sponsored by Adam and Eve, so we have a sex toy raffle in the middle of it.
It's pretty rad.
It's a really good environment.
I've yet to win a dildo at one of these things.
There'll be plenty of opportunities to win more dildos. I actually won the grand prize last time. It was a heated, vibrating, remote-controlled anal bead-shaped butt plug.
Wow.
It's quite fantastic. I haven't used it yet, but
okay.
Yeah, it's quite wonderful.
If we ever do a part 2, I'm gonna need a review.
I will bring that. Another
or just a showing of how it works.
Oh, for sure. Actually, I'll give a visual representation for Industry Special X.
Triple X.
Triple X.
Industry special.
But another one that I'm really proud of here is our pop-up markets. I mean, a lot of people and a lot of other bars do pop-up markets. And they're all wonderful. It's a great way for like community engagement with local artists and local creatives.
Yeah.
But one thing that we do differently here is we do charge a mandatory vendor fee, but that vendor fee is a donation to a specific cause or local group or community organization. Right. So if you want to vend here, the house takes nothing from that test. House takes nothing from your sales. It's you have to donate to this cause. So we've fantastic. Done GSOWO, which is the Greensboro Working Class Houseless Organizational Alliance.
Okay.
We've done the North Carolina Survivors Union, which is opioid and just general drug harm reduction groups. They do provide test kits, Narcan for bars and stuff like that.
To ensure like safety and
harm reduction as opposed to like tough love and
just throwing the book at them.
Throwing the book at them. Yeah, it's no, like let's keep these fucking people alive. It's a medical condition, and they do great work. They're located here in Greensboro off of Grove Street, Glenwood.
That's awesome.
And then for the next foreseeable future, all of our donations and vendor fees will be going to the North Carolina Abortion Fund.
Very nice.
So we kind of do that as a partly to bring a lot of community vendors together. Like we have about 18 to 28 depending. Like our biggest was 28, our smallest was 18 vendors.
That's a pretty good number for this place.
Yeah, we do
inside and outside.
Inside and outside. We do a lot with a little. I'm very proud of how everybody can kind of condense and get to know each other and collaborate and network through that. Well, you kind of have to with that kind of proximity. But and kind of wanted to like challenge other bars and other places who do events like that to incorporate community effort into your events and into your business structure. Because you don't, I mean, if a house doesn't need that vendor fee if they're charging a vendor fee, you're bringing in more people for your bar sales, and why not just give that to a group or a person who might need it?
Yeah, and I would argue that you guys are kind of leading a charge in that regard. You don't see a lot of bars doing stuff like this.
No, and you should. I mean, there's a formula to do an event where all parties win,
Right.
Especially a fourth party being some person or organization in the community. So your bar's going to win by the increase in sales. Your bartender's going to win from higher tip count. Your vendors are going to win from higher
exposure
and making more in sales and a higher concentration of people. The vendors are going to win also because they're going to be able to network with other people. Like we have vendors that collaborate with each other now because they've been neighbors for certain events.
That's awesome.
And with just that added, like, hey, you throw X amount of dollars to have this booth here for a few hours to make some money, and this fourth party gets to take part in this as well. And people get to learn about those organizations as well.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people didn't know about North Carolina Survivors Union. We had a booth for them up here where they had a box of 100 fentanyl test strips. There were maybe 20 of those test strips left by the end of the market. And it's a 4-hour market.
Wow.
And just like, hey, if you partake or go to festivals or just casually use or regularly use, take these with you.
Yeah.
And
Just
we also have plenty of them for free at our organization down the road.
Not be dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it can shed light on these other organizations as well. And just being able to be in a position to facilitate stuff like that has been really, really, really wonderful. And I just really want other bars and other groups to start looking at events like that because, not to get political, but in the grand scheme of things, we don't really look out for everyone, and our powers that be aren't going to look out for everyone. Right. And it is up to us to keep each other safe, to keep each other well, to keep each other fed and safe and networked and happy and collected within our community. And I think if you have a space and you have a platform to do that, then I think you should. So, not trying to get on a soapbox, but hopefully, if what we do here challenges other bars to do it too, then we can have a fucking awesome city and
raise the bar, doing
cooler
shit,
if
more interesting shit, more
if 5
helpful
bars
shit.
are doing these markets, then you have 5 times for a local artist to actually make a living off their work. Not that they couldn't without it, but giving people opportunities. It's like, come here, sell all over the place. Why not? And we're not doing it. They are doing it. We're not doing anything but opening up the house. I'm not trying to be like say this is all us. Like we are just giving a spot for this to happen.
Yeah.
But when it happens, it fucking happens, and it's wonderful.
And it's so easy to help. Like not to say, I'm sure it's putting on events like this has its own complications.
It's easy to make the decision.
But even on the lower end of just being a supporter, like it takes nothing to say, hey, good job, or like, hey, this is cool, like what you're doing is cool, and being supportive. Yeah. Even if you can't afford whatever someone's selling, or
put something on your social media about it.
And there's just
like take a picture of somebody's art and say, oh, this is really cool by so and so.
Yeah.
There's so many ways you can do to uplift
and
promote people in your community.
Since you've been here, and especially the past since COVID, like the whole lockdown lifted, I've gotten the sense that you have been cultivating nothing but a positive, safe, like loving, but also fun and interesting and creative space here, which, it's a dive bar. Like, there's only so much you can do.
It's gonna, at the end of the day, it's gonna be a dive bar.
Yeah, it's a dive bar, and you're gonna get drunk assholes sometimes.
But I would like to say that is something that I have.
It's impressive, honestly.
I would like to say that is something that I've driven very hard since reopening and kind of recultivating a new environment here. But it's not all me. It's a collective. It's a collective of the staff here. It's a collective of the management here. Andy's been with us for a year now and has been such a supportive entity for this place. But at the end of the day, it's not just staff. It is the community. It is the people that come here that make it a safe place. It is the people that feel comfortable talking to their bartenders whenever they feel unsafe. It is the artists and the creatives that come into these events and come into our bars that want to nurture this environment that we were trying to cultivate here. And it's not just me. It's not just us. It is a collective entity that just makes this place really fucking special and really healthy and doing hopefully more and more as time goes by for the community and for the people that we love.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Do you want to do the lightning round?
What's a lightning round?
It's a lightning round.
Fuck yeah.
You're about to
Cool,
find
cool,
out.
cool. Can I cuss? Is my mom gonna see this?
You wait.
Been cussing.
Yeah. You also, just wait. That's the first question.
All right, cool.
Did I do an intro for the lightning round last time? I can't remember.
I think so.
Okay.
Also, you don't have to scream when you do your intros.
Hi, Robert Aldi. This is Jackass.
You told me to enunciate and to project, okay?
Yeah, but you have two different.
Is this
volumes.
picking me up right now? This microphone that's in my throat?
A consistent volume is good. Just do it. Just go.
All right, it's...
Now I've thrown you off.
Yeah, I need a second.
Lightning
Hang on.
round. Let's go.
I need to hit my head real quick.
Oh, this is not very lightning of you.
I'm gonna do outro and lightning round same time.
Lightning round first.
All right, Daniel, plop plop. Now
Plop,
plop plop plop. plop. Now's the time in the show where we do the lightning round.
Okay.
The industry special lightning round,
All right.
where I'm just gonna fire questions at you,
Okay.
and you just first thing that comes to mind.
Fire.
What's your least favorite color?
Orange.
What's your favorite curse word?
Cunt.
What's your second favorite curse word?
Fuck.
Do you sit or stand to wipe?
Sit.
Did you know that some people stand to wipe?
No.
They do. I learned this very recently
Do you
too.
stand to wipe?
I don't know, but I've met
stand for the wipe.
a few people now that stand, and it's very fascinating. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. As long as it's back to front, I really don't think it matters.
I've heard front to back.
No, it's back to front.
I do back to front too.
it's
But
back to
in all this wiping talk,
Yeah.
someone told me front to back or back to front.
No, it's back to front.
Back to
Yeah, you drag it up.
back to front.
So you push it all. You push it all. Forward.
I'm sorry. I'm painting a picture in my head right now.
Producer James.
No, it is.
You push it all under your balls.
For the children at home, it is front to back.
If you
is
didn't
front to
hear our producer Mike, he asked, "Do you push it all under your balls?"
Yeah, how are you gonna save? How else are you gonna save it for later?
That's back to front. That's. I don't like
Look,
that.
as
Back to front.
As the late great George Carlin said, you never know when you're gonna need extra parts.
That's true. Final question: what's your porn name?
Biscuit Longview.
That's such a good fucking porn name.
Thank you.
What is it about porn names that they're always?
I don't know. They're really good. I had a friend of mine back in the day. His name was Coco Bentley. I think that's my favorite.
Mine is Mickey.
That's nice.
Mine is Mickey Mount Pleasant.
Mickey Mount Pleasant. Ooh, that sounds soft, but
Right?
in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Mickey.
Speaking
with
of
Mickey.
soft and good. Cut that out. I'm not great at transitions.
okay.
Daniel, is there anything else you want to say before we sign off today?
Tip your fucking bartenders.
Tip your fucking bartenders. They work hard, and they need money too.
We need money. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm Rob. This is Daniel. Pop, pop, plop, plop. And
4 Ps.
this has been the industry special. Just in time for the truck to go by.
Perfect time.
Cause it's the industry special.